There's a lot of stuff coming to Raid really soon. And I was thinking we're gonna talk about it. And I'm realizing really quick that I will be way too... I'm gonna be way too big here. So I'm gonna make myself a little so small. Hi guys! Can't really do a tiny voice because I'm too manly. Okay, so let's talk about it, shall we? It is an event divided into two, and I think I'll just I'll try to summarize it. There's like 6 bosses champions coming out. One of them will be a free fusion, one of them will be a classic fusion. We're gonna have event dungeons coming up. We're gonna have pinpoint coming up. Catch you guys later. No, but let's get into it a little bit more in detail, shall we? So I will read stuff, speculate on things, and then we just move on to the next slide. I feel like I'm in a corporate situation. I need to present presentations, and these are my slides. Here we go. Event is divided into 2 phases. Phase 1, June 2000. Well, it's June. In June, okay, this year. Champion Fragment event, start of the event dungeon, reward calendar, and Bastion redesign, and OST update. Is that? I'm not really sure. Then phase 2, in July, free legendary champion in the loyalty program, classic fusion, and a coalition event. So, champion fragment event. Okay. And then we have a free legendary champion and a classic fusion. So 3 out of these champions will be easy to obtain, apparently. And the duration is from June 3rd to August 5th. And we hashtag raid web of corruption. Oh my god. Next slide. These are the champions. See, I knew I was gonna be too big. Like, I feel like I'm... Can we zoom out? There we go. That's good. And here are the champions. We have Fallen Silverheart, which is a fragment fusion, and it drops from shards from June 17th. So, drop from shards, I guess, well, before then, they're not going to be able to be dropped, is basically what I take from that. And we have nodes here, 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 and here. We have Raya the Mourned. Then we have Talina Soulseer. Then we have Warco's Head Splitter. Then we have Hagiba the Nestmaid, which will be the classic fusion. And then we have Valerian the Equalizer, which will be the loyalty program. Or loyalty program. Does that mean... Loyalty program? What the hell does that mean? Does that mean that's the free login champion? Is that what it is? I really thought this guy would be the guy. There's always one of these champions that's like... the best. I'm assuming it's her then, because I know for a fact she's the Void. By the way, can we just mention that all of these kind of feels like Sylvan Watchers to some degree. This might be like Barbarian or Argonites, maybe. She gives me off Syl vibes, honestly. Alright, next slide. Let's go through the first kit here. I'm gonna zoom in because... so we can read this blurry text. Hell yeah. Talina Soulseer. Rarity Legendary. Spirit Affinity. Support High Elves. Okay, that's kind of nice. The first A1. Withering Invocation. Dude, presenting this... and it's kind of a little bit of a blur. I feel embarrassed. I'm sorry, guys. This is what I got. A1 attacks one enemy, has a 30% chance of instantly activating 2 poison debuffs on the target. Instantly activates all poison debuffs on the target if the target has any of their skills on cooldown. Okay, instantly activates all poison debuffs on the target if the target has any of their skills on cooldown. Dude, whoa, okay. That's kind of nice. I Seer Evil. A2 attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance, which books up to 100% chance of placing 2 5% poison debuffs on all enemies for 3 turns. Damn. Then increases all allies' turn speed by 20%. Dude, I love poison champions. I really do. Getting Nell would be really cool. And also, when you like, I've always loved poison champions in all kinds of games, whether it's Dota or whatever. Just having like putting a bunch of poisons on and it's just ticking. It's kind of nice. Yeah, Shadow Priest, hell yeah. World of Warcraft. A3. Quell the Darkness attacks all enemies. Before attacking, place a 50% increased accuracy buff on all allies for 2 turns to land more poisons. Okay, nice. I didn't say that, but I'm just, top of my mind. Has a 75% chance, books down to a 100% chance of decreasing the duration of all enemy buffs by 2 turns. Also has a 75% chance of increasing the cooldowns of... what the fuck? Also has a 75% chance of increasing the cooldowns of all enemy skills. But whoa! I don't know. I don't think poison works very well in PvP, except Nell, because you can't really get him off. This here is also some sort of poison activation, honestly. Decreasing the duration of all enemy buffs by 2 turns. Oh, sorry, never mind. I thought I read debuffs. Buffs. It's buffs, never mind. Very, very nice. Very nice. Then we have our passive. Increases all allies' turn meter by 2% whenever a poison debuff is activated on an enemy. If there are multiple champions on the team with this skill, only one will activate. This skill will not activate on duplicate champions. Decreases enemies' crit rate by 5% and crit damage by 10% for each poison debuff on them. And then we have a 19% ally speed in all battles. If you have a bunch, like, if you have Nell, if you have... I can imagine. She actually activates poisons, doesn't she? Instant that, yeah, okay. To some, has a 30% chance of. I wonder how she would work with Ezio, because he's guaranteed to activate poisons, and she places a bunch of poisons. Well, 2 at least. Very interesting. I would want to go for her. But she's not gonna be one of the. She's not gonna be any of the fusions, and she's not the free login. But really, really nice champion. Either way, let's go for the next one. Varko's Head Splitter. I don't know why. I think I like her more. But just to look from it, but it's just looks. Looks can be deceiving. Everyone is a book. Don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge a champion by the portrait. Okay. Varko's Head Splitter. Rarity Legendary, Force Affinity, Defense, and Dark Elves. So we have High Elves, Dark Elves. Okay, cool. Not everything Silver Watcher. But 100% that one is almost guaranteed. We have the A1. Attacks at one enemy 2 times. Will ignore unkillable buffs. Oh. Will ignore unkillable buffs on the A1. When counterattacking, will attack 3 times instead. What the frick? Okay, that is kind of interesting. There's always nice to have someone, I don't know if there is one, but that can hit both unkillable and block damage. Alright, A2. Murderous Fighter. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Will ignore block damage. Okay, yeah, on a separate, but cool. Would be nice to have this on block damage as well, but you can't get everything. Will ignore block damage and shield buffs. Whenever this champion teams up with an ally to attack an enemy, they will use this skill. Oh, okay. When joining an ally's attack, will attack 3 times instead. Damn. Very single target. You know what I'm thinking of here? Counter to Niame. Right here. This guy. Single target, really heavy. Can clap the shit out of Niame, hopefully. Because I freaking hate... I think she also gets the block damage triggered when she gets attacked. But, you go through block damage, so there you go. Brutish Dominance is A3. Books down to a 4-turn cooldown. Places 60% increased defense buff, a counterattack buff, and a 15% shatter buff on this champion for 3 turns. Then grants next turn. Whoa. A complete nuker. I can see how this guy can be really, really good in a specific situation. Like, I would love to pick this guy if I'm up against Niame, for example. Instrument of Power. It's the passive. Has a 15% chance to join an attack whenever an ally attacks an enemy. The chance increases to 25% when an ally attack from the Dark Elves faction attack. Okay. Yeah, I don't like... I really don't like when it's like, oh, if it's from the same faction, this also happens. Because most of the times that's probably not the case, and I feel like then it diminishes the champion. This champion is still pretty freaking good. But when it comes to things like this, I'm like, oh, okay, now I'm missing out on this, most likely. Who knows? Maybe you run with another Dark Elf. Depends on also with the champions. Yeah, we have Mavara. Mavara with her. Or with him. You know, I think. Dark Elves? Yeah, I think so. But yeah, there it is. Also with, you know, the ally attack from Mavara. Okay. Enemies killed by this champion, whenever they counterattack or join an allied attack, cannot be revived. Ooh. Okay, interesting. Very, very interesting single target champion. I don't think we have a specific champion built that is like heavy single target. So he definitely fills a role. Yeah, really nice. Now we're gonna go to the next slides. Event Dungeon. Event Dungeon is back, and this time an exiled queen, Rahaya the Mourned, will be featured as the Event Dungeon boss, available for players of level 6 and plus. Start 3rd of June. And ends on 5th of August. Raya is this one right here. So it's the Queen of Hearts of events. It is the... not Pelops. Oh, man. What is his name? I really wanted him, but I never saw a glimpse of him. From the Assassin's Creed. I can't remember his name. But yeah, it's that guy, basically. Then, dude, okay. Yeah. There was always this thing in there of when are they gonna bring back Pinpoint. But, just, you know, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like Pinpoint is very outdated. They might have buffed it here. We can compare it to in-game. We might actually do that in the video after we read this slide. But I don't know. Maybe they have upgraded. But let's go through this and then we take a look at it. Event Dungeon artifacts. Aside from the existing artifact sets, accuracy, critical rate, critical damage, curing days, players can get a limited Pinpoint artifact accessory set that consists of 9 pieces. Previously was distributed in the Event Dungeon during the Asgard Divide campaign. Pinpoint set. 1 piece, 20 accuracy. 2 piece, 10% speed. 3 piece, 20 accuracy. Then we have 1 round of 1 stack of intercept buff. Then we have another 10% speed. Then 2 stacks, 20 accuracy, 12 speed, percent speed, and then 4 stacks. Let's quickly compare this. Is it buffed or is it basically the same? Let's have a look. Very limited stuff here. 20, 10, 20, intercept, 10, 2 stacks, 20, 12, 4. No, it's basically the same. Well, it is the same. Don't get me wrong. If you're early game or mid game, I think this is really good. Especially early game. Like, I remember you get tips from this from like other content creators. Like, when these event dungeons like are around, spam the shit out of them. Chronophage, you know, I feel like Pinpoint, I prefer Pinpoint rather than Chronophage. So, I mean, the accuracy, the speed, the accuracy again, the speed again, the intercepts buff, really, really nice. Because, I mean, one thing we all need, or most champions needs, well, every champion basically needs speed. So, check. Then you have accuracy. A lot of champions out there needs accuracy, so it's just great. And you get, like, from 1 piece you get 20 accuracy, from 2 piece 10% speed, on 5 piece. I mean, you know, if you're early game, farm like crazy. That's all I'm saying. Then we have the reward calendar. Okay, so basically every day, I'm gonna read it, but also every day, you need to log in on every day. And then at the end you get a grand reward. Is this no, it's not the champion, I don't think so. Well, let's actually read it here. Reward calendar. A special 25-day reward calendar will be launched with the start of Web of Corruption event. Rewards will include artifacts and accessories of epic and legendary rarity, gemstones, glyphs, chaos ore, and other goodies. The final main reward of the calendar will be determined by the community vote. Players will select a legendary relic among the following options: Guild Opinion, Last Laugh Amulet, Mask of Disquiet. Let's quickly get into in-game again and see here. In a previous one of these, I remember the Gilded Pinion, and that's the one I believe I got previously. Let's have a look. Is it... Where do we have the Gilded? Here we have the Gilded Pinion. It is first HP, speed, and resilience. Where receives 1% less damage for each turn of cooldown on all their skills. Right, where receives 1% less damage for each turn of cooldown on all their skills. Okay. Then we have Mask of Disquiet. Resilience, defense, speed. Where has a 30% chance of activating an instant turn effect on themselves after returning from sheep. Yeah, but when does that happen? That doesn't happen often at all. And the stats here is kind of yikes. 6 speed at 18. Here you have plus 12 speed. I mean, if we're just looking at the stats, I'd rather the Gilded Pinion, but I don't know. Not, yeah. Then we have Last Laugh Amulet. Attack, HP, crit damage. Where has a 30% chance to activate a delay effect when receiving fatal damage 3-turn cooldown. I believe the delay effect is that you don't actually die. You let's see here. Okay, there we go. So I was trying to look at like what delay does. The delay effect in Rage, it's an unremovable gameplay mechanic that temporarily prevents a champion from receiving fatal damage. Yeah, I guess. But honestly, my opinion here, just none of these are like... Their effects are not really that strong. And a lot of relics out there are usually used for their stats. And Gilded Pinion is the one that brings you the most speed at the second tier. So, I mean, Gilded Pinion, I guess. But I feel like none of these are, you know, really that great, in my opinion. But yeah, let's move on. Then we have event relics. Due to popular demand, we are bringing back relics that were previously introduced as a part of the limited events. During the Web of Corruption campaign, you will have a chance to get relics that were first released as a part of Chaos Awakes event. You'll be able to earn Twisted Horns relic crafting materials in various in-game activities. I guess we could have a look at those as well. Let's go ahead. And then we go to boom, relic index. And then I believe, yeah, I guess some of them are here. So we have the Covetous Passion, attack, crit damage, and defense, where it receives a 15% shatter buff for 2 turns at the start of a round, has a 30% chance to place a 15% shatter buff on the wearer for 1 turn upon killing an enemy. Yeah, Covetous Passion on the guy that hits like single target thing, the Force High Elves guy. I could see Covetous Passion being pretty decent there. I don't know if that's the one you want, but I don't see it as a a bad relic for him there. Then we have Crown of Corruption, Speed, Crit Damage, HP. Love these stats. Where deals 5% more damage and receives 5% less damage when above 50% HP. Or below 50% HP, where deals 25% less damage. Ugh. I mean, bring Mavara, I guess. Bring Mavara if you're gonna have a champion with Crown of Corruption. Then we have Skull of Treason, Accuracy, Defense, Speed. HP burn debuffs placed by the wearer deals 10% more damage to enemies with higher max HP. Niche. Not sure who I mean, obviously on HP burn champion. Maybe I would place it on. See, the thing is, I think if I would have Skull of Treason, I would probably put it on either, I don't know, maybe Skrank or what's her face? This lady here, Sisia, Flame Tongue, HP burn. Yeah, I wouldn't put it on Hilvi, because there's more important stuff that needs to be put on Hilvi. Guild Opinion we just went through. We have Grail of Agony, HP, Defense, Speed. When enemies steal or decrease the wearer's turn meter, the wearer instead loses 2% HP for every 1% turn meter that would have been lost or stolen. Can kill the wearer. Okay. Gaze of Damnation, Accuracy, Crit Damage, Attack. Wearer deals 2% more damage per skill activated, stacks up to 10%, and receives 1% less damage per skill not activated, stacks up to 5% by enemies under Fear or True Fear debuffs. I mean, nice accuracy, but yeah. Okay. And then we have these HP, attack, defense, decrease, and steal turn meter effects are 50% less. Okay. I mean, yeah. There's better relics to be put on, honestly. Where it receives 1% defense for each 15% HP missing, stacks up to 75% HP defense resilience. Covetous Passion, if I would pull it, I would be kind of excited. I'm like, okay, let's try this shit out. Crown of Corruption, I really don't like the downside of it. But yeah, if I would have this on, I would damn sure bring someone like Mavara. Skull of Treason, I love HP burn in general, and this is very niche. I think I would have fun with this, but I'm not sure how useful it will be, in general. But yeah, there's the relics. Let's move on. Then we have a gift. Players who manage to get all event champions by August 5th, 2359, will get a special gift with in-game resources. 4 Covetous Passion relics, Raya the Mourned Avatar, Corrupted Avatar Frame. The frame looks, it looks kind of cool. Diamond Gemstone Expeditious Exploitation. Okay. Circular Gemstone Uncontrollable. Circular Gemstone Foe Killer. Square Gemstone Strengthening Will. Usually getting this is kind of difficult. I mean, we've pulled voids. We never saw all. Augustine was the guy. That's the name of him. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we didn't see it. You need to basically buy shards in order to get this, or get really lucky. But save up or not die trying, but save up or don't get this basically. Then we have these champions as well. I was thinking I'm gonna make a specific. I'm gonna go through them in another video actually, but yeah, that's basically the I will I mean, going for fusions right now, the tokens are kind of nice. And I mean, the fusion token, always nice. The pinpoint, I mean, I don't think I'm gonna go for that. Like, you know, I think I'm gonna, you know, run a bunch of Minotaur because I need it more and stuff like that. The Talina Souls here sounds fun. I'm not sure how useful she will be in PvP, PvE maybe. Vargo's Head Splitter would be kind of nice to, like, you know, I can see where he would fill specific slots. So like, oh, I don't really have a counter for Niame. Usually what happens is when they pick Niame, I have to not waste my ban, but I have to use my ban on her. In this case, I wouldn't need to because, I mean, this guy. Yeah. Other than that, free rewards, hell yeah. I mean, it's been pretty quiet in raid for a period of time here. Yeah, I would love if it wasn't Chaos Awakes, but Alice Adventure. I mean, anything to get a hold of the Cat's Gaze. Really, really good. I mean, imagine Cat's Gaze on my Tecteon. You know what I mean? But yeah. Guys, that has been everything for me. I put out videos every day. I post every day, you know? If you like this sort of content, let me know with a like and subscribe. Other than that, I'll see you guys next day.